Hey everybody, welcome to the next edition of Taste of the Town. It's where we go around finding unique experiences for you to experience in Quincy and the surrounding areas. And today we find ourselves in the Ole Wolfhound pub in downtown Hannibal. I'm here with my friend Eric McKay. Hey Eric, how are you?
Hey Brittany, how are you? Good.
Good. Okay, so today we're going to show off a couple of things from your menu.
Okay.
Where do we start? It all looks so good.
Well, you can do the start with the number 1 and number 2 ordered items here,
Okay.
Which would be the fish and chips and our Main Street Reuben, which, as you can see,
Let's start off with the rueben.
yeah, your favorite.
Yes, it is my favorite. It is corned beef.
Thinly shaved corned beef, sauerkraut, Swiss cheese, a little Thousand Island dressing on a toasted marble rye.
And it looks like it's special Thousand Island. I am going to cut into it so the viewer can see what's inside of this delight. Okay, yeah, I'm the messiest cutter. We've all known this from the great sandwich debate too. Oh, I'm knocking over.
You're fine.
Delicious and probably pretty nutritious too, right?
Oh, sure. I think so.
Especially with a beer. Okay, let's make it pretty again. Fish and chips. That's another big item.
Chips, a beer battered,
Knife
tavern battered cod,
Okay.
with house seasoned French fries, and a tartar sauce. Pretty simple, but a staple in an Irish pub.
Yeah, and it's a staple with a beer that we have behind it.
Everything goes better with Guinness.
Yes.
Don't we?
That is the
and we pour a lot of it.
Guinness.
Yes. Well, I'm kind of a stickler about it.
It's beautiful. Next to it is another beer that
Logboat.
we have on draft.
Logboat Irish Red Ale. Logboat is out of Columbia, Missouri, so it's somewhat of a local brew.
Okay. And then, last but not least, certainly,
Guinness Irish Stew. So it's tender beef with celery, onions, carrots, peas, a topping of mashed potatoes. Some people would put diced potatoes in it. We actually just do the mash on top, and the mash is champ potatoes, which is green onions and bacon and mashed potatoes, and then it's served with our house-made Irish soda bread.
Irish soda bread.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds, I mean, it looks delicious. That sounds interesting. What's Irish soda bread?
Irish soda bread. So unlike most breads, there isn't any yeast in it, so the baking soda and the buttermilk kind of act together. It's just a real quick bread, and we make it in-house every day. Actually, I make it in-house almost every day. The recipe's in my head. Nobody else knows it.
So you don't let anybody else?
Well, no, it's just I'd love for somebody else to make it.
They don't do it the way
I just forget to tell people how to do it.
Oh, really?
Right.
Or they just probably wouldn't pour it the way that you pour it.
Maybe. You never know.
Okay, so what are your hours here?
We are Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to currently 8, but as we move into spring, our kitchen will be open till 9. We're not a 1:30 establishment, so after the kitchen closes, depending on business, we stay open. I've been blessed to have 2 actual just bars across the street, so, by 10 or 11, we're kind of moving everybody out the door, but we'll stay. If the party's going, we'll keep it going, but most of the time, it's not long after the kitchen closes.
Okay, speaking of bars, you have an impressive bar behind you. We were just eyeing it. It's got an amazing selection of whiskey.
We kind of focus on Irish whiskey, just because, well, we're an Irish pub. So a small selection of bourbons, some American whiskeys, Canadian as well. But, we really try to focus on your Irish whiskeys and a few scotches, a few good scotches.
Okay, so we've mentioned that it's an Irish pub over and over again. Coming up is the big holiday.
Yeah, the countdown's on. 22 days, 8 hours, 54 minutes, and 25 seconds.
From when we recorded this.
Right, of course.
What are you going to do for St. Patrick's Day?
The joke is always open the doors. So, kind of lends itself automatically to St. Patrick's Day. But, it's a small pub. We're about 55 seats. Last year we did in and out the door about 430 people. So there's not much room for activities. We do have some music going on all day. I have the Ragtag Irish Band, which is a traditional Irish band. They'll sit up and play instrumental traditional Irish music. And then yours truly will play in
I was
the
just about to
evening.
ask.
We play at night, and then I have Steel and Copper coming in Saturday night, because the beauty of this particular St. Patrick's Day is it's on a Sunday,
Oh, cool.
which
Yep.
we're typically closed, but obviously we're going to be open for that day. So we're going to get Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday to celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
That's
So
awesome.
if you can't make it here on Sunday, or you can't get in the doors, hedge your bet, maybe come in on Saturday too.
Okay. All right, Friday nights. Speaking of parties, don't we regularly throw a party here on Friday night?
Yes,
is what I've
there's
heard with yours.
there's I typically play with J.R. Engel and Jamie Fenton, or tonight I have Jeff Van Canigan, or if I can't particularly be here, I usually have somebody playing here on a Friday night.
And for those of you that don't know, Eric is a very talented guitar player.
Stop.
No, seriously. Okay, so
I do all right
I will
on a rare day.
I came in here one time before we started all of this, and it felt like I was walking into a scene in Ted Lasso. I know it's a different country bar, but you were sitting on the bar strumming your guitar. You had a couple other people with you. Everyone was talking to everyone, and
there's
you
always
had some soccer games on.
There's always a guitar here, usually in the office, and if other musicians show up, there a jam
In
session
the office.
we call it the pub guitar, but it can break out at any time. It's something I do regularly, obviously, but a lot of musicians hang out here, which is what I've wanted on the onset. So you could walk in here on a Wednesday afternoon. Some people call it Wolfhound Wednesdays, and there could be 3 or 4 of us sitting around jamming. So it's just kind of what we do.
It is definitely a unique experience when you walk into this bar. I encourage you highly to get down here, get to downtown Hannibal, check out Eric's features that he has, these food features. Come in on a Friday, listen to some jams, or just come in the afternoon and, like I said, have an interesting experience where everyone seems to be talking to everyone and getting along with everyone. And
I do that, like, the intention, like if you come in the TVs are usually like on a flyover of Scotland or Ireland, or on a soccer game or golf or something. The goal is not to have you sit here and watch TV. The goal is to sit here and have you talk to each other or other people, make a friend. The goal is to have you feel like you've just walked into my living room.
I like it. It happens very casually, I will say that. And for somebody that, might not always want to say hi right away, you make it pretty easy. So I thank you for that.
Absolutely.
And I thank you for pouring this beer that I plan on.
And you're going to have to eat this,
Wait, but you're going to help me with it,
well,
right?
I mean, I might have a fish or 2.
You might have a fish?
A fish.
Okay, well, I might have a to-go box.
I think we got some.
All right.
Around.
Well, thank you, Eric, for
No
joining
problem.
me. Thank you for joining me on this edition of The Taste of the Town.